All right, hello. We are ready to go over this geometry learning check number 8. The title's not up there, but again, this is learning check number 8 for geometry. Our first question. Well, the directions say each figure shows a triangle with one of its angle bisectors. Number 1, find the measure of angle 1 if the measure of angle DBC is 76. Well, let's find this DBD is 76. From D to B to C. So this big angle, do it like this. The entire angle is 76. In other words, the measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2 equals 76 degrees. So we know that 1 is half of 76. So what you do is you take 76 and divide it by 2. And that answer would be 38. 38 degrees is the measure of angle 1. Look at the next one. Now number 2, each figure again shows a triangle with one of its angle bisectors. This one says to find the measure of ECD. Well, E to C and then D is the big angle. So we're asked to find it if the measure of angle 1 is 12. Well, if the measure of angle 1 is 12, then the measure of angle 2 is also 12. So the two small angles are both 12. Then that means the big angle would be 12 times 2, or 12 plus 12, or 24. Number 2 is 24. Number 3. The measure of angle 1, it reads, is 24. Find the measure of S to Q to R. So we're given angle 1 is 24. Find the big angle. We'll realize that if 1 is 24, then angle number 2 is also 24. So the big angle would be 24 times 2, or 48. Let's keep going to number 4. The measure of angle 2 is 22. So I'll put 22 there, maybe 22 there. But also angle number 1 is 22. And that answers my problem. Find the measure of angle 1. So in this one, they kind of trick us. They don't say what's the angle of the big angle, or I'm sorry, what's the measure of the big angle. So the measure of angle 1 is 22. We need to be very careful and read these directions carefully. Number 5. Different directions. Each figure shows a triangle with its 3 angle bisectors intersecting at point P. Make this smaller so we can see it. So again, angle bisectors, point P. It says to find BS. So the length from point B to point S. Point B to point S, I'll draw it in red here. Maybe. Again, BS is right there, okay? If PS is 1, so this right here is 1, and BP is 4. So let's call from B to S, let's call that X. And we're going to use the Pythagorean theorem, which is A squared plus B squared is C squared. Now remember that A and B don't matter, which one's which, but the C has to be the longest side. What is my longest side? Is it the X side, the 1, or the 4? And I will circle the 4 because that's my longest side. The 4 has to be the c. So the order I'm going to put it as would be x squared plus 1 squared equals 4 squared. Simplify that to be x squared plus 1 is 16. I'll subtract 1 from both sides, so x squared is 15. X then would be the square root of 15, which on my calculator comes out to be about 3.87. So number 5 is 3.87. Let's do number 6. This one says to find PT. So from P to T, darken in red, if ET, E to T is 3, and EP is 4. So I'm going to put an X right there, make my variable. And again, I'm going to use A squared plus B squared is C squared. And which side is my longest, or my hypotenuse? Again, it's that 4. So I'm going to write x squared plus 3 squared is 4 squared. In other words, x squared plus 9 is 16. Subtract 9 from both sides. That gives me x squared is 7. And then x would be the square root of 7. And my calculator gives that to me as 2.65. Number 7. This one. Find CT, so from C to T, that side, I'm going to call that X. If PU, P to U is 2, and CP, this distance, is 5. Well, a little bit tricky here, because I need to know what T to P is. Well, T to P would be that third side. Well, TP is the same thing as PU. And it's also the same thing as SP. I'll put red marks, tick marks on those. All 3 of those sides are the same. So this 2 right here is also 2 right there. So I have this triangle, I'll put it in blue, that I'm trying to solve with a 2, a 5, and an X. So your 5 is your hypotenuse. So it has to be in this order. X squared plus 2 squared is 5 squared. In other words, x squared plus 4 is 25. Subtract 4 to get 21. So x is the square root of 21, which on my calculator is 4.58. Number 8. Find FP. So F to P, right there, let's call that X. If PC, P to C, this one, is 2, and FC, FC is also 2. So we have that little triangle. It's going to be 2 squared plus 2 squared is x squared. A little bit different order here because the x is my hypotenuse. The x would be my longest side. So this works out to be 4 plus 4 is x squared. In other words, 8 is x squared. So x is the square root of 8, which on my calculator comes out to be 2.83. We're ready for number 9. Different directions. Each figure shows a triangle with one of its angled bisectors. Find x if the measure of angle 1 is 6x minus 5, and DFE is 10x. So this is a small angle, and this is a big angle. So I cannot put this. 6x minus 5 does not equal 10x because 6x minus 5 is the smaller angle. 10x is the big angle. Well, to make it right, I have to double the smaller angle. So I would double the 6x minus 5, which distributive property is 12x minus 10 is 10x. I could subtract 12x from both sides, and there's other ways of doing this. That gives me negative 10 is negative 2x. And if I divide both sides by the negative 2, it gives me an answer of 5. Number 10. The measure of angle 1 is 8x minus 3, and UST is 15x plus 2. So again, 8x minus 3 equals 15x plus 2. That's not quite done because I would have to double the small angle. Double the smaller one to make them equal. So then work it out. Distributive property, 16x minus 6 is 15x plus 2. And I would just subtract 15x from both sides to give me 1x minus 6 is 2. And then add 6 to both sides, so x would be an answer of 8. And there's my answer. X equals 8. Let's go to number 11. Find x if the measure of angle 2, small angle, is 8x minus 5, and the measure of angle 1 is 7x. So now we're talking about angle 2 and angle 1. They are both small angles. So this time I can write 8x minus 5 equals 7x, and that's it. I would not double anything because it's a small angle equals a small angle, and that's correct. So to solve this one, a couple ways of doing it. I think the easiest way is to subtract 7x from both sides. No, I'm sorry. Changed my mind. I think the easiest thing to do would be to subtract 8x from both sides. That gives me negative 5 is negative 1x. Then remember this trick, divide by negative 1, and you get an answer of positive 5. On to number 12. This time, the measure of angle 2 is 7x plus 6, small angle, and xzy, big angle, is 16x. So I got to take the 7x plus 6, that's a small angle, so I got to double it and set it equal to the big angle. So distributive property, 14x plus 12, 16x. I would just subtract 14x from both sides to give me 12 equals 2x. And then divide both sides by 2, and that's an answer of 6. 12 divided by 2 is 6. So again, number 12 is 6. Let's move on to 13. This one reads, the measure of angle 2 is 4x minus 6. That's a smaller angle. And the measure of EGF, that's the big angle, is 7x plus 2. So I got to take the small angle, 4x minus 6. It's small, so I double it, and it equals the big one, 7x minus 6. So distribute 8x minus 12 equals 7x minus 6. Let's juggle some things. I would say subtract 7x from both sides to get 1x minus 12 is negative 6. add 12 to both sides. And you get, what's that, negative 6 and 12 make a positive 6. So the answer to 13 is positive 6. Let's keep moving. Number 14. Find x if the measure of angle 1, angle number 1 is x plus 5. That's a small angle. And from E to C to D, that's the big angle. So I got to do this. X plus 5 is a small angle, so I got to double it. And it would equal 3x plus 4. That's how I set it up. Now let's solve. Distribute. 2x plus 10 is 3x plus 4. Let's just subtract 3x from both sides. Going to get a negative. That's okay. That's a negative 1x plus 10 would equal 4. Subtract 10 from each side. That gives me what? Negative x equals 4 minus 10 is negative 6. And then you have to do this little negative 1 trick to get an answer of positive 6. So number 14 is also a answer of 6. We've had 3 6s in a row. 2 more, then I'm done. Number 15. This one says the measure of angle 2 is 12x. That's a small angle. And the measure of angle 1 is 13x minus 2. That's a small angle and another small angle. So I would write 12x equals 13x minus 2. I would not double anything, so no distributive property here. Solve this. I'd say just subtract 13x from each side. That gives me negative 1x. It's negative 2. Divide by 1 and get an answer of positive 2. So number 15 is positive 2. One more. Number 16. Find x if the measure of angle 1 is 2x plus 7. That's a small angle. And the measure of angle 2 is x plus 16. So again, small angle, they are equal. I would write 2x plus 7 equals x plus 16. And I would not double anything. So let's solve. I'd say just subtract x from each side. So I get 1x plus 7 is 16. And then subtract 7 from each side. X would be 16 minus 7 is an answer of 9. Okay, that's all 16. Again, this is Learning Check number 8. Thank you for watching.